Alright, this is Mike Casamano from VideoGameChooChoo.com. Gentlemen, why don't you introduce yourselves to the iPhone?
Hello, my name's Cassie Sark, and I'm a freelance designer, and I worked on Hexatron and Feral Rex for Mastermind Creations.
And that is the six-shot, and what's the other one?
Predator King.
Oh, nice. That thing is cool. And yourself?
I'm Sino Kibble. I'm a freelance writer. I do all the promotion, comic books, and profiles for Mech Ideas and Mastermind Creations.
Sure. And I understand you guys are planning a Kickstarter for something you call Unrustable Bastards. Either of you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that. The idea of Unrustable Bastards, we wanted to create our own IP. So rather than just doing giant robots based roughly on the Transformers lore, we want to do kind of Transformers-compatible robots. So they do transform, but they're not part of that universe. It's our own intellectual property. We'll control all the rights. The plan isn't just to make a few toys and then forget about it. It's actually the first part in a saga we like to call Robo Dominion Saga.
That's correct.
The company behind it, we're called Mayhem Mechanix. It's actually not just us, there's a few other designers involved. We've got Mel Warner. Help me out here, Cassie.
Bell Dillinger and
David Harland.
Yes.
So we've got some of the best guys from the world of third-party Transformer toys. We're all coming together, throwing ideas into the hat, working on, and just basically we're building a universe from scratch. The idea of Unrustable Bastards is we're taking a small corner of that universe and we're focusing on that, and it's about an outlaw biker gang who are feuding with another biker gang, and the police kind of get caught in the middle and mix it up a bit. They're all going to be transformable, so you have the riders who are about, what height are they?
They're about 80 millimeters tall, but they are, super detailed, fully posable, and what will happen is you remove the rider from the bike toy, transform the bike toy into the larger robot, and the rider will then transform into the chest piece that plugs into the larger robot for control of what would essentially be
a motorbike robot transtector.
That's correct.
So, this large universe, is it all transformable robots, or is it just this little corner?
Yeah, pretty much.
The concept is that it's there was cybernetic life in the galaxy, but this is far, far, far into the future, and all organic life has died out. Cybernetic life has spread throughout the galaxy, and they're mining it and working it till,
there's nothing left. Like, most planets are just husks. The core's been removed. They've spread out over the universe to try and find new life. There's no life left. It's just dead civilizations everywhere they go. They're on one of the farthest outreaches of the universe. The lore is trying to expand its reach out that way. So it's essentially the Wild West meets Sons of Anarchy, with a little bit of Pacific Rim thrown in for good robot fighting measure.
All of that sounds fantastic. So if this is like Sons of Anarchy, who is the Ron Perlman?
The Ron Perlman character, we did have his name.
Burley.
Burley is our Ron Perlman character. He's the leader of the gang, and we're just right out. Were we saying he is the father of the main character, isn't he?
Yes, because we have actually worked out how cybernetic life might reproduce. So yes, it does work out that he is the father of the lead character. Visually, I'm a big fan of sort of like the old kind of British robot comics, like from 2008. You got ABC Warriors. So as a tribute to that, I've kind of based his design on. He does actually look like a cross between Ron Perlman and Major Blackblood. So if you want to have a look at that,
you'll get an idea.
Yeah.
So the story's going to start off with the biker gang, pretty well established. They've been running the planet and the kind of the black market side of the planet for quite a few years, and everything gets kind of thrown against the wall where it turns out there might be an insider in the gang. And that's when the story that's when we join the story.
What kind of storytelling can we expect to see? Is it just going to be fiction, or is there going to be some comics or animation in there?
We're hoping to run the full gamut. We're going to start off with, there's going to be comic strips to help explain who the characters are and help sell the product. We're hoping in full time we'll have some prose pieces, a full comic book story. Ultimately, the aim is we want the works. We want
the animated series,
we want
or at least the direct-to-DVD sales, animated movies, series of mini movies. I think that could wrap the story up nicely. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, and the way the industry is now as well, we're not worried about trying to sell the IP necessarily to a big conglomerate. We can get we're confident that with the great fans we have supporting us, we can get the product to market and get it straight into the hands of the people who are going to support us and actually make it happen. So it's all about crowdsourcing. The more support you guys give us, the more you'll get out of it. We're hoping to get an entire universe up and running with its own fiction, which we can tell the stories we want to see told.
Cool. And you guys are planning to fund this through Kickstarter. How much are you asking for, and how much is it going to fund, both in terms of like the number of toys and the production run?
That's a great question.
That's it. That's all in the development stage, and that will come across in the next few weeks. The first thing we want to do is finalise the first initial figure to give people the idea, to show people what they're actually going to be getting. Once that's finished, the full list of prices will be up there, and people can make a decision.
We're planning out the reward schemes, so there's going to be stretch goals and good rewards for people. We're going to have it originally ready to go straight after TFCon. If we'd done it, we would have rushed it. It wouldn't have been right. It would have failed, and we would have been shortchanging the fans. So we're going to do it properly. We're going to take the time. We're looking at a few. We might even have a backer going in before the Kickstarter, which is going to mean we can put a much lower cost to make it actually happen. And it's just increases the likelihood of it actually happening a lot. But it will happen in one form, one way or another, no matter what. It'll happen. Unrustable Bastards will be coming to a market near you soon.
So, Cassie, what goes into making a toy? Like, what's your process? How long does it usually take?
Right. Well, it all depends on what kind of brief it is, really. I mean, if it's something where, sometimes it will be an idea I've had, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, sit bolt upright and shout Eureka, and
then 24 hours later we've got the demolition crew.
That's pretty much true. But it's if it's something that's a brief from a company, they'll come to me and they'll ask for something very specific. And I'll kind of throw around some ideas with them. We go for a back and forth a little bit, sort of like, do they want to look? It's like Hextron, for example. We understand that it's got to have that G1 flavour because that's what the fans want, that's what they expect. But what with the, at the time it was the games War for Cybertron, Former Cybertron. I wanted to kind of infuse some of that aesthetic into it. That's why there's a lot of venting, detail in the design. Quite angular, sharp, because that's how the Decepticons were designed. And I really wanted to kind of bring that in because he doesn't really have Earth modes as such. So I wanted to make it look like though the 6 modes were kind of like very Cybertronian. Again, but you still want to sort of go back to the source. So it was a case sort of you find the original figure and you study it and
see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, and then, and you can easily discard what doesn't work, and then it's a case, what extra nice little features you can put into it. Like the shurikens built into the wheel hubs. Again, it was just so. Once you've planned it all out, you can pretty much kind of you can see where it's going over the first couple of weeks. Then once you've got the basic layouts. Hextron had 6 alt modes, so that one was a little bit more extensive. But the main thing I like to do is get the robot mode and make sure the proportions are right. Make sure and match the personality of the character. So Hextron, he's a one-man army. He's got to be big. He's a badass. He's a brute. And that, I think I was quite very successful in sort of carrying that over into the design.
That totally came across. I might be biased, but that totally came across.
And that's about it. And then after that, once I'm happy with that, it's just a case of sort of going over it, and you go over each alt mode and make sure everything's working and still works in every alt mode. Of course, there's going to be sacrifices. It's still a toy. You've still got to work with plastic tolerances.
And cost levels.
Yeah, because you can't have millions of parts for a toy because everything's got to be tooled.
It's got to be functional. It's got to be able to serve its purpose and be brought to market at a price that people can afford.
So I mean, that's it. It's I mean, that is about it. It's about just doing what you can with the resources possible to give the fans the best possible figure they can possibly want.
Sure. And based on the amount of Hexatrons I saw leaving the dealer room today, you did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I believe the second run of figures for Hexatron's already confirmed because the first run sold out at the distribution level day one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, if people want to know more about Unrustable Bastards and the future of this big universe you guys are creating, where's the best place for them to go and do that?
At the moment, join us on Facebook. You can find me under the name See No Kibble. I'm pretty sure I'm the only See No Kibble in the universe. In time, we're going to have a blog, which is just going to be for Unrustable Bastards, and it's going to chart the process from beginning to end.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a quick Google search, once that blog goes up, that'll find you Unrustable Bastards?
In a week or two.
Okay,
Give it
fantastic.
2 weeks.
Thanks for joining me on this, guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank
you
man.
very much.
Take care.